Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest of boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chat, channel donations, the Venmo, and the Patreon family we work in. Now, I read an article, boxingnewsonline.net, and they did an interview with Eddie Hearn, Matchroom promoter, UK promoter, also promotes Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte, and he's saying that Deontay Wilder turned down $3 million to fight Dillian Whyte. He says, and I quote, "People don't want to fight Dillian Whyte. He's a handful. He's a real handful. He's got a great chin. He don't stop throwing punches. He's strong. It's frustrating. He just keeps coming at you." Link in the description. I got to chop this subject up, but he's saying they offered him $3 million plus a percentage of the US TV dollar. And he said that's probably a total of $4 million. And he's making 1.5 for Stavern. Listen, I understand Eddie Hearn is a promoter and he's trying to, you know what I mean, build up his guy. But listen to the actual facts. First of all, if he's saying US TV, 3 million plus US TV, that means he wants to stage the fight in the UK. So the champion, the WBC champion, Deontay Wilder, would have to travel to the UK to fight Dillian Whyte. So if by chance it does go to the scorecards and Dillian Whyte's able to not get a knockout, Wilder doesn't get a knockout, then you have to deal with the judges and the referees who may be partial. In my opinion, I thought Derek Chisora, I've only watched it one time live, and I was actually, it was moments before I went to cover Terrence Crawford's fight. I was in Omaha and I watched it in my hotel room, but I thought Derek Chisora beat Dillian Whyte. But they still gave the split decision, I think it was, to Dillian Whyte. So Wilder would have to deal with that. So that's one issue. Second issue is he was going to fight Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz, most people would say, is the boogeyman of the division. So I don't see why you would, people are trying to spin it like Wilder's ducking Dillian Whyte. But you got to look at the facts. Why would you duck Dillian Whyte, who's a good fighter, but he's been beaten and stopped before? And he was a mixed martial artist, or like a karate or kickboxing or whatnot, before he even got to boxing. Luis Ortiz is a 38-year-old Cuban boxing veteran with no knockout losses. You know what I'm saying? He's never lost. And the only reason that fight's not happening is through no fault of Wilder's. Now, the guy they were paying step-aside money, Bermain Stavern, they no longer have to pay him step-aside, or maybe they don't have to pay him the whole amount since they're going to actually fight him next. And he's the mandatory. So why not fight in New York, where you fought before, in America, where you're an American, and you'll get less money, but you don't have to really deal with any probably politics where they would favor you over Bermain Stavern, vice versa, if the rightful person, you know what I mean, goes to the cards again or something like that. And more importantly, you're getting your mandatory out of the way. Period. Third thing, like I said, I don't mind the fight with Dillian Whyte, but he's been stopped before. So I really don't feel, I'm a reasonable boxing fan, so that's a good fight. You know what I mean? I would give him credit for if Wilder were to beat Dillian Whyte. However, the people who are calling Deontay Wilder bum squad and saying in 38 fights he ain't fought no one, yada, 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 they're not going to give him credit for beating, quote-unquote, Anthony Joshua's leftovers. So, again, to me, this is a non-issue. It's a non-issue. And people, what they do is these headlines come about, so you're like, oh, man, Deontay Wilder, he's ducking Dillian Whyte. But I don't think that's the case. I can't label this as a duck, because again, most importantly, you are going to fight someone who the boxing populace would probably say is the boogeyman of the division, Luis Ortiz. So how's that ducking? You were going to fight someone who is more feared because he's undefeated, he's a big puncher, etc. And then the fight got canceled through no fault of your own. And in addition, like I said, I really don't think Wilder would get credit. I don't think he would get credit for beating Dillian Whyte. Hardcore boxing fans, yes, maybe, right? But you have to look at Dillian Whyte. Who did he just fight? Who he fought? Malcolm Tan or somebody like that? You know what I mean? On the Terrence Crawford and Ndongo card, I was there. So, to me, I think this is a non-issue. I think this is Eddie Hearn building his man up. If they make the Wilder-Whyte fight, I'm not mad at it. But people are creating headlines in their videos and making it seem, and in the comment section, making it seem like Wilder's ducking Dillian Whyte. And I don't think that's the case. You know what I mean? It's a solid fight, but everything comes with an order of operation. That's like, why doesn't Anthony Joshua not fight his mandatory Kubrat Pulev and fight Dillian Whyte again? Since he's so fierce, and what Eddie Hearn is saying, he just keeps coming at you. The first fight was a good fight. I'm sure he wants to redeem himself for from the loss, right? He thinks he could beat Joshua. So why didn't you put Joshua? You know what I'm saying? That's, you could ask Eddie Hearn the same thing. Why wouldn't you put Joshua in there? Because you want to take care of your mandatory in this year with the fight that, you know what I mean, Joshua should win. It satisfies a mandatory obligation, and then you look to who's down the road. But I mean, it would be the equivalent. And like I said, if I was interviewing Eddie Hearn, I would probably ask him the same thing. Why does Joshua get to fight his mandatory? Everyone feels that he's gonna beat Kubrat Pulev. I do, at least, and people I've seen. You know what I mean? So it's really no difference. Business is business. So all the people who are making it like this is some huge issue, like Wilder's just staring clear. Again, I don't see why you're gonna duck. I don't see why you're gonna duck gonorrhea to get syphilis. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? You're gonna duck gonorrhea to get herpes. It just, that, I know these are extreme analogies, but it doesn't make sense to duck one STD that's curable to get one that's permanent. You know what I mean? And Luis Ortiz, most people consider him the boogeyman of the division, and that's who he was willing to fight up until he failed his drug test. End of story. Let me know your thoughts. Drop in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.